National Executive. Shavan, what more are you learning? The Prime Minister is obviously going to give a big 2024 mantra. But the point is that, the BJP is a party that is not just organized. It is not just entrenched deep right now. It has a huge network of karyakartas, of panna pramukhs. And that's exactly what makes the BJP pole apart from the opposition today. Shavan.
Well, in fact, Deepthi, I would like to show you some pictures, and that would give you an idea as to how the party really actually operates. I'm not very sure that whether we are going to cut to it right now. So let me try and explain of what am I really witnessing in front of my eyes right now. What you see is all these buses and all the karyakartas have started coming in. Just take a look at this. While we were not live, I did actually try speaking to some of the karyakartas. Most of them have come from different parts of the state. Even a state like Himachal Pradesh, where they have lost. Remember, they have lost the elections, but the party members are here. This is a set of, party workers coming in from the state of Himachal Pradesh, and all that they wanted was a quick glimpse of the Prime Minister, and they're now returning. All of this essentially being done because why? It is to set the tone for 2024. And this is a party which does not lose the appetite. Even if they've had a setback in electoral defeat, they're not really going to give up. In fact, take for example what's happening in the state of Himachal Pradesh itself, where they have lost, but at the same time they're saying that course correction will be done. What's going to happen in the next few months is going to be very, very crucial, because these are battles that the BJP would essentially like to win, because that is only going to give the much needed morale booster. Yes, they've won Gujarat hands down by a huge margin, and the fact that it was unprecedented victory for them. But at the same time, what really happens in Karnataka and in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan just before the 2024 elections is going to be very important. That's the reason why when you have an executive meeting of this nature, the discussion essentially to take place to take stock of the organizational issues. And let's not forget, the Prime Minister had made it abundantly clear that the outreach of the party right now to the people of this country should be the fact that there have been several developmental work that has essentially been done by the party, and they want that messaging to take place. Look at the challenges that the government has essentially faced. Let's not forget, after coming to power, retaining power, this government had witnessed the biggest challenge coming in the form of the COVID pandemic. The fact that the Prime Minister essentially saying that despite the kind of challenges that the government had to face, they came up with the vaccination program. And not just for this country, there was a larger global messaging that was done. That's the reason why there is an exhibition that is inside the MDNC, the venue of the meet, where they are talking about the Vishwa Guru Bharat, an exhibition of how India is basically solidifying the position in terms of foreign policy, in terms of the way India is now looked at by other, foreign nations. Especially, let's not forget the fact that, the humanitarian cause that was taken by the government, the Maitri program of the government in terms of distributing a vaccine, despite the kind of criticism that the government essentially faced, especially during the second phase. Having said that, they've, bounced back. There are certain challenges. When you're looking at global inflation, the fact that countries like developed nations like the United Kingdom, the United States are also facing major challenges. India has been able to, not only remain afloat, but ensure that they overcome those challenges. But the bigger factor right now, with elections round the corner, in several states where we have seen issues like job, employment becoming an issue, that is the reason why in the discussion that essentially takes place inside this building is going to be about how exactly do you overcome those challenges, how exactly you send across the message that this government is for the people, and they're taking all such measures to ensure that the people reap the benefit of the multiple schemes that have been floated. So it's very clear, as far as the political reorganization is concerned, all of that is going to feature. JP Nadda's, whether at all, his tenure is likely to be extended or not, because his tenure comes to an end by the end of this month. An extension is on the cards, is what we are picking up right now. But all that put together, it's this, what you see all around me, take a look at all around, the number of workers who have come in. that note of celebration at all points in time. The fact that they are all enthused, they are working for the party, irrespective of what's the political situation in their own state. Even from states where BJP is not in power, you would find a lot of Karyakartas coming. They say that 2024 is all about Modi. But let's not forget, they do have certain challenges, and the challenges comes in from various states where the opposition parties are ruling.
That is true. And, Shravan, I'm not sure how far you are from that NDMC center, but I was just looking at the posters that showcase the achievements there of the Modi government. And let's see also if we can put out those images on our screens that Harsha had got to us a little earlier. That speaks about the achievements of the Modi government, from the G20 presidency to the Patel statue at Kevadia to even the Kashi corridor. And also in bold, the messaging that is written is Garib Kalyan. That can be seen at the venue. So yes, a lot of re-emphasis on Garib Kalyan that has been put out by the government again and again. You've seen the symbols of Astha that have been depicted in that exhibition at the NDMC Center, to the symbols of Vikas. So this really gives you a broader idea of where and how the BJP is going to be pitching this big battle of 2024. And is then 2024 going to be literally Modi versus all? I want to see if we can go back also to Abhishek with us, or Aishwarya. Both they're getting us more insight into what possibly we are looking at. But the Prime Minister leading that big show of strength by the BJP. And like we said, it is not just planning and strategizing for the 2023 battles that are going to be assembly elections in 9 states. Also the big battle of 2024. But a lot of symbolism, a lot of emphasis on Garib Kalyan. Abhishek, we've seen, I was talking about the posters that actually showcase the achievements of the Modi government. I saw the G20 presidency there being mentioned, being spoken about, considering that's really a big deal for India. To the Patel statue also, Abhishek, at Kevadia, then the Kashi corridor, then there is this message of Garib Kalyan. So Abhishek, the BJP knows what it is playing with. The BJP knows what really are its pivotal points come this election season. But is this frankly going to be Modi versus all come 2024, Abhishek?
Well, obviously, from here till 2024 general elections, there are going to be at least 3, possibly 4 more national executives, Deepthi. But, politics is as much about optics and symbolism as it is about substance. So you mentioned about the roadshow starting from Patel Chowk, from the statue of Sardar Patel, obviously, because Sardar Patel is in many ways an icon of the BJP now, more than the Congress party, as exemplified by the Statue of Unity, for example, which is a result of the vision of the Prime Minister from his Chief Minister days. And the G20 poster that you mentioned, obviously, I said that there is going to be a resolution also on India's G20 presidency. And then, as I said, these occasions provide an opportunity to the top leadership of the party to send across a message, both to the cadres and, of course, to the general masses, as to what the leadership is thinking, what the party is, doing, deliberating. What are their thoughts on the economic situation of the country, political situation of the country, national security, both internal and external, India's place in the Committee of Nations around the world, and how the world really sees India, and the leaders really explaining their position of why they took certain decisions that they took between the last executive and now. Also, it is about crystal ball gazing. It is also about giving policy direction. So remember, on the political front, for example, in the last national executive in Hyderabad, we had Prime Minister in his address talking about asking the cadres and the leaders at the state level and down below to focus on a dialogue with Pasmanda Muslims, the backward class within the Muslim community. And then subsequently we saw how in state after state, including from the leaders like Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath. We had those statements coming in, events being organized where the party opened a dialogue with the backward Muslim community. Now, this is a right-wing saffron BJP, which is known for absolutely overt Hindutva politics. For them to be opening a dialogue with the backward Muslim community in itself was a message. That Prime Minister's slogan, for example, of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, it has to be seen and tested on the ground whether it's really reaching, and that message of inclusivism is being tested with politics as well. So I think in that sense, the cadres and the masses can really get a policy direction of what the BJP is thinking. Both the speeches of Party President JP Nadda and Prime Minister tomorrow are going to be a marker in that sense of what happens from here till the next executive at least. And as of course, we have been mentioning 9 states going to polls. So strategizing with those respective state units as to how the campaign is going to pan out. Election machine that the BJP is.
And the Prime Minister then undoubtedly shifting this big battle into the top gear. Abhishek, Shravan, what we'll do is we'll just head into a quick break right now, but with the promise that when we come back, we'll get our viewers more inside, lot of inside pictures that continue to come in from the BJP's national executive that is underway in the national capital. Don't go anywhere.